So here we are with the Train Sim World Player Survey Winter 2025. Thank you for taking the time to fill out the Train Sim World Player Survey. The responses are really important to us and will help us shape the future of our Train Sim World franchise. There will be questions on how you play our games, your preferences for current and future content, and where you'd like us to take our games in the future. Please answer the questions as honestly as you can, and where required with as much detail as you can. This survey should take around 30 minutes to complete. Depending on who's writing, who's answering, and how much information you provide, that's going to change. I put a lot of information in, but anyway. And if you provide your email address at the end, you'll be entered into a draw to win one of 20 free add-ons for Train Sim World 5. Please enter the email address at the end of the survey for a chance to win an add-on of your choice for Train Sim World. Thank you. 64 questions. This is a long one. Okay. Next, by Survey Monkey, getting to know you. We'd like to find out a little bit about you and how you play our games. In what country do you live? US for me. I don't know what other would be. Amazon jungle. How old are you? How long have you played games developed by Dovetail Games? And going into the fifth. I'll leave it there. With Train Sim titles developed or published by Dovetail Games, have you played... Read the words. Which Trains titles? That's what started to screw me up, because Grammarly is a thing. Developed or published by Dovetail Games have you played? Select all that apply. Classic, Heavy Haul, 2022, 4, 5, there we go. Train Sim World Tycoon, no thank you. An average week, how many hours would you play of Train Sim World? Why is, in an average week, how many hours would you play Train Sim World? Any version. See, I've been here 4 hours now? Average week, so that was today. Let's leave it at 9 to 10. Because it's a shared computer. How many Train Sim World add-ons do you own? These can be routes, trains, or gameplay packs. I don't know why they put pieces while they're talking about DLCs and add-ons, right? Add-ons, routes, trains, or gameplay packs. Why? Just pick one. Pick one. Is it a route? Is it a gameplay pack? Or is it a train? And I do believe the use of the word route is... I would do it differently because, for example, let's take the American ones. Cajun Pass. Yes, I know how I said it. I do that on... I'm kind of like trying to have some fun here, Sherman Hill, Horseshoe Curve, St. Pat's Grade. There are multiple services which would be considered a route. I'm gonna do the fill in a name route. I don't think, say for example, Cajun Pass, which by the way could use a little bit of TLC. Again, I would call them a route, but they're called differently. It's a service, it's a scenario. I digress. But then they got pieces here. Well, a piece could be a piece of a train, a handle, a wheel, a door. I mean, pieces. About how many DLCs do you own? Leave it at that. Do you tend to purchase add-ons based on a specific country? No. No, I don't have a preference. I don't have a preference. Variety is the spice of life. What word or phrase best describes your motivation to play Train Sim World? See, this is kind of a hard one to just pick one because for me, they all they all go into one category. It would be for community. For the most part, the community does interact and provide some input and assistance, and not to mention the modding community. The creation, I'm not into achievement hunting. I really am not, because the whole point of Train Sim World is we bring the real world of trains to you in Train Sim World, which is Germany, UK, and some US, Canada, more UK, more Germany, couple, I think 2 Austria, and 2 for Switzerland, Sweden, something like that. They go into the cold countries where there's a lot of snow. So I'm not into the achievements. I really did. And when I first started, yeah, I was looking and said, oh, I got to get this. You know what? It got to the point where, ooh, show me a real world train engineer, driver, conductor who is driving a train and says, ooh, there's a trash can, a refuse receptacle that's fallen over. Let me get out of the train and pick it up and put it all back nice and neat, while you're in the middle of doing a passenger service where people need to get to a specific location on time. Please show me. Oh, wait a minute, there's a map missing on the wall over there. Wait a minute, I got a map here in the back behind my seat. Let me go put up the map real quick. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot to bring my glue gun. Where in the world does that happen? Please, somebody, where does that happen? Or, there's a pizza, let me go eat it. Or, frankfurters just sitting on a table behind a tree, hidden underneath the ramp going to the other side of the train track. Really? Come on. Or, there's a gnome that needs to be painted. Just some of the things, it's like, okay, you want to add something to the game like that, then you know what? That should be its own thing. That should not be... No, make it its own. That should be all by itself. Just like they've created where you could play and be as a conductor, which doesn't really work that well, but I digress. There's plenty of people posting issues where you check the people's tickets and push the bags underneath the chairs, and that doesn't, again, that's what the achievement thing should be. Education? Yeah, this can be very educational. Yes. Escape the real world? Yeah, sure. Relaxation? Depending on the train you're driving, the scenario, which would be, in my opinion, the route from Frankfurt to Fulda. That's the route. That's the timetable, passenger service. A challenge? Yes, it can be challenging, especially with the German trains and the heavy haul trains in Cajun Pass, Sherman Hill, Horseshoe Curve, St. Pat's Grade, Clinchfield. Yeah, it can be very challenging, especially when you're hauling, say, 50 auto racks with 2 locomotives up and over a mountain. While there's 40 empty hopper cars using 4 locomotives. I digress. Relaxation is a challenge, immersion. Yes, it can be, the immersion can be there. Some of it can, there's quite a bit that can break the immersion a lot. But yes, I do look for the immersion, and so do many other people. The collection, that's why I say this is not so, it's not just you can pick one or the other. They all fall, they all have a reason for the motivation. Every one of these. Because there are people that like creating scenarios and creating new skins, new graphics, you name it, which falls under the category of, the modding community. So all this is picking just one here is kind of like that's I would leave it as check all that apply. That's the way I would leave that question. But do other and say all. Next. Okay, where do you play Train Sim World? What platform do you play Train Sim World most frequently on? Steam? Again, this should be, for me, would be Steam and Xbox. Microsoft Windows PC falls under Steam, but you can't select both. See, for me it would be, because I do play it, I have it through Steam, and I have it on my Xbox, and I have it on, and I'm running a Microsoft Windows PC. So this kind of all goes, these three go together. And I do have some stuff on Epic, but I hardly ever play it on Epic. But all this should all be, select all that apply, not just one or the other. Because for me, it's Steam, Xbox, and Microsoft PC, which is basically the same thing as Steam. This should be these two should be together, kind of. So, what hardware do you play Train Sim World most frequently on? Okay, again, this is two questions here that are exactly, they should be all in one. Again, it's pick one or the other. Again, for me, it's Xbox One X and PC, Windows games. I don't have any other console, so for me it would be Windows, and I do play it on my Xbox One X, but I can't select both. I can only select one. That's for me. Some people have PlayStation and Xbox and PC. Some people just have PlayStation. So, but that should be select all that apply, not just one or the other, because that's cherry picking. Okay, your experience with Train Sim World 5. We'd like to ask you some questions about Train Sim World 5 and your experience playing it. Have you played Train Sim World 5 by downloading the free starter pack? Again, this is more of cherry picking. Yes, on my Xbox. I have not purchased anything on my Xbox. Do not intend to. Do not plan to. Not gonna happen. I'm done buying Train Sim World, period. I don't care what version. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not buying any more on the Xbox. The one that I still played the most of on my Xbox is Train Sim World 2, because it still looks good and it still plays well. Not crazy about the interface, but it plays actually better than Train Sim World 3. Never mind Train Sim World 5. No. Yes, that's my choice, but again, this is cherry picking. Okay, moving on. Train Sim World 5, your thoughts. What was your favorite route of Train Sim World 5? This is literally picking one or the other, and you're pigeonholing, cherry picking. You're putting people into a position where they have to pick just one. I like San Bernardino. I like some of the Frankfurt Folder stuff. Haven't played much of the West Coast Mainline, London, Euston to Milton Keyes. I haven't played much of that, but I'd like to. There's so much to do. But that's the point. I like to have variety. So for me, it would be all of these, but I gotta pick one. Why? How about pick all that apply? Or fill in. How about this? Make it other. Fill in the routes that you like the best, or you enjoy the best. How about that? But no, you gotta pick just one. So I'll go with San Bernardino. But I like a little bit from each of these. Moving along, what was your favorite locomotive? What was your favorite hero locomotive, Train Sim World 5? Again, this is more of a pick just one. The Flix train I never even heard of. Obviously, clearly, because I don't live in that part of the world. I'm not in Europe. Never mind in Germany, or the UK. So I can't say that I like one over the other more than the MP36 is nice. So is the F125. Class 350, I really haven't done much. I think I did one iced tea run, which was nice, and I did it with all the safety systems, including LZB. The 390 is not bad. It's nice. I mean, it tilts, but that was already a thing in Train Sim World already with a couple other trains. So this one just tilts even more. So pick one. Why do I have to pick one? Why can't I just, here you go, other, fill in. There is no one hero locomotive. Okay, fine, I'll pick that one. What was your favorite new feature of Train Sim World 5? Again, this is cherry picking and pigeonholing everyone into picking one single item. What if people like multiple items listed here? The route hopping? The improved live map is okay. It could be better. The improved training center? No. It's not improved. It's got more stuff there, but there's more stuff there that doesn't. It's like content coming soon. Come back another time. See ya. Have a good day. Bye. How is that improved? Photo mode is not any different. It's a little bit better. Just vague. It worked fine in Train Sim World 4. In photo mode here, it's having the option to give it a grainy effect is nice. The motion blur is a bust. No, it just looks horrible. It really is an issue with many people where if it's snowing or raining and you're in the cab and you do Control 10 to do photo mode, for me, it actually, while I was doing the photo mode, everything looked okay. And as soon as I hit escape to get, to end the photo mode after I saved and uploaded, it changed the weather to beautiful, sunny, no clouds, no rain. Not to mention that if you do Control F10 to do photo mode while you're in the cab, your character disappears. Your little cartoon character just gone. So in order to do it so you could see your little character, you have to exit the train with either number 2, number 3, or number 8 key on a keyboard. So this way you have your character still there, visible, when you take the photo mode if you want it in the image. So that's still got an issue. Improved track shadows. Accessible screens in cab. That's actually not bad, because in some trains there are some of the buttons that you can access, you cannot, because of the way the levers are made for brakes or throttle or whatever. When they're in a certain position, you cannot access parts of the screen. So yes, that does conductor mode. There's been more complaints, more issues with conductor mode that I've seen in every platform. So I would say that's a bust. Fast travel, I don't use it. So I would say the accessible screens in cab. Again, this is kind of hard because how do you pick one? Because every one of these has an issue. The improved live map, while it's appreciated with the naming of all the sidings and all the stub tracks and the naming of all the sidings in the yards like San Bernardino. Okay, that's nice, but the text looks like bubble text. It looks very, when you zoom in, it gets so cluttered. It's really, it doesn't help. In the way the zoom function works, it's either too far or not enough. The bubble text is just, no. There are other things that they removed from the live map. If you look at the live map from TSW, I think they still have it in TSW 4, definitely in TSW 2. I don't remember TSW 3. I think it's in 3 too. 2, 3, and 4. The little icons for the train wash. One of the scenarios from the Oakville subdivision, I think it is, the Canadian routes, where you fill tanker cars, the little icons on the map are missing. They're gone. They took them away. Stuff like that they removed. The where you go to fill up fuel for the diesel locomotives, the UK ones and the American ones, they actually had a little icon that showed where the fueling station is. No longer there, as far as I can remember. The live map? I just looked at where you do the fueling of the locomotives on San Patch Grade, okay, and I'm pretty sure it's on all the other ones. The only thing that's there, what looks like a graduation hat. For the life of me, for the longest time, I couldn't figure out what is that for. I just moused over, it says fueling station. I'm literally scratching my head here. How is that an indication for a fueling station? The image of a graduation cap with the tassel. Then there's another one on the map that shows what looks like a book icon. So if I had to pick one, I'll take accessible. That's, for me, that's the least common, the bottom of the barrel. And even that has its issues at point, kind of, but so I'll select that. But okay, train sim survey continuation here with number 15. What is your preferred way of getting into or operating trains in game? I haven't used much of the Creation Club content because it's not as simple as just, yes, let me go into the game and select the train and find. No, you have to go to the Creation Club, find, and even that is, you're limited to the amount of items that you could have subscribed to. Why? I don't know. I don't even know what to know. I got 5 pages of stuff that I've subscribed to. I cannot subscribe to any more without removing stuff. Why is it a finite number that you can subscribe to? Why can't I just subscribe to whatever I want? Because it's not like I'm putting in a mod like a DLC into the DLC folder. Because it's so quick drive I have never used. Journey mode I've used here and there. Again, used all at one time or another. That's it. And that's the God's honest truth. So, upgrading to TSW5. How would you rate the ease of upgrading to Train Sim World 5? It's neither negative or positive because as soon as you, whether you get the free starter pack as it's called, it's not even a pack, it's a training center with a few locomotives that you can't use anywhere but in a training center. And you drive around in circles for the eternity, but that's about it. So if you want other content, you have to buy other content. And if you already own, say, content from TSW 2, 3, or 4, it automatically just, you don't have to do anything. Just give it a day, 24 hours, and you have everything for TSW in TSW5 from the prior versions. It's all done basically automatically. So the ease of upgrading it's basically buy it and wait 24 hours and everything's there. That's basically what I did. Well, it was gifted to me actually because I got the free starter version for the Xbox. And on PC I was gifted TSW5. So, and it was within 24 hours I had everything that I had from TSW4, 3, 2. So it's neither positive or negative. Again, this is, I guess you could say this is a good question, but it's really not that hard to upgrade. I mean, it literally is purchase and wait. Are you satisfied with your overall experience in Train Sim World 5? I'm neither satisfied or dissatisfied because there's lighting issues in TSW5. There really is, in many places, and I still need to do something, redo, I should say, a video on something that looks phenomenal. I mean, really looks good in TSW4. In TSW5, It looks horrible. I mean, and it all. I can't put my finger on what it could be other than lighting, plain and simple. Something to do with the lighting. That's the only thing I could think of. But maybe somebody who's better with the knowledge of creation in Unreal Engine with the editor, be the unofficial or official one, might be able to answer this, because it just looks horrible. So I'm going to select neither. Please let us know your favorite thing about Train Sim World 5. You're limited to 200 characters. That includes spaces, mind you. My favorite thing in Train Sim World 5. Oh, okay, yeah. I did not have to repurchase my currently owned DLCs. That's it. That's about the... Does it run a little bit better? In some cases, yes. Okay, some places run better and not. Oh, there goes Grammarly correcting me. And some not better. Yeah, see? That's Grammarly, see? I would have left it like that, but you know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it like that. That's the way they leave questions, so I'm going to leave it like that. Some not better. Okay, so next. Okay, how likely is it that you would recommend Train Sim World to a family member, friend, or colleague? I guess you could put a number in. 7? Oh, look at that. Yeah. That was just the first number off the top of my head, number 7. Yeah, I would not, I would incredibly likely no. It would have to depend on how much, how into trains is the individual. Do they really like trains? Or is it just, you know what, I just want to get into a train and just push go. You know, again, it depends on the person and what they enjoy, and if they're into gaming. So it depends on the person. What are they into? What kind of gaming are they into gaming? So I'll leave it at 7. I know I'm adding more than what needs to be added by this little commentary that I'm doing, but that's because the way these questions are put together, there needs to be more as far as, incredibly likely, why? Not likely, why? It's for people to give a little bit of an explanation in more than 200 characters. Please let us know one thing you'd like us to do to improve any future versions of Train Sim World. First, fix what is broken. Going back to TSW1/2020. Some services, I'll leave it at that, can be completed in prior versions, yet not able to in fix what is broken. Let's make that. Going back to TSW1/2020, and that's not just something I'm pulling out of thin air. There are some services that can be completed in TSW3, 2, 1, Actually, there's one service that my daughter completed, my younger daughter completed it in TSW2. I completed it in TSW1, but in TSW3, 4, and 5, it cannot be completed because of the way the trains are all clustered into one little place. For whatever reason, I couldn't tell you. Some services can be completed in prior versions and yet not able to in TSW5. Creation Club Mastery will be asking you some questions about Creators Club, our online creation and sharing platform, and mastery. How often do you use Creators Club? Creating content, subscribing to others' content, playing your own subscribe to content. Occasionally. I really haven't done so in a while. How do you generally use Creators Club? Yeah, basically subscribe and download, subscribe to other people's content. Which of the following creation tools do you use in game? Occasionally free roam, photo mode. What's it? The editor is not fully complete, from what I understand. But then again, I'm not into no. No, at this point, I don't want to do that in my life, no. I'm done with trying to make content for a game, period. Please rate the following creation tools in terms of how easy you find them to use. Excuse me. I'm only drinking coffee. How easy you find them to use. Formation Designer. Don't use it. Livery Designer. Don't use it. Free roam. I'll go right in the middle. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Online Sharing Hub. I haven't created anything for the Online Sharing Hub, so I'll leave it at that. Public Editor, not using. Photo mode, I use it all the time. So yeah, I'll put it at 10. It works, and then I take it, more often than not, I take it into my own graphics program and add my own touches to it. Scenario Planner, don't use it. Okay, do you feel like mastery challenges are worthwhile completing? This includes mastery tasks that come with routes, community challenges, and monthly mastery challenges. That just gets you playing more routes, many in different ways, and so I guess it's a way to get you to play more. I don't look for these per se. The one thing I did look for, and actually it was my younger daughter that really wanted to do it the most, and it was on my Xbox, is when they had that mastery challenge for the Christmas special that they released for TSW3. It would have been nice if that was a steam locomotive, not a diesel. While I do like that type of diesel locomotive, the F7, it would have been a lot nicer with a steam locomotive, and with passenger cars and maybe a couple of freight cars with gifts on them. But I really don't do the mastery challenges, and actually I did one for October and it's missing. Yeah, I would say sometimes. Because I really don't use them, and here is the one that I completed it, not even realizing that I completed it. It's gone. It's missing. 0. I can't find it. So, not much else to say, but que sera, sera, sera. So, I mean, I haven't even looked what the current challenges are for this, for December. I'll see. Maybe I've even got some of them done. I don't know. There's the first time that they're doing stuff like this where every month you get one of these badges. And the one for October, I completed it and I don't have it. And I don't know how you can get it back, or even if you can get it back. So, moving on. What rewards would you like to see to make completing master challenges more worthwhile? Keeping them. Okay. Do you think the extent of player avatar customizations in Train Sim World are sufficient? This is a joke, right? Because I would love to know where the player character avatar where can I customize my cartoon character? Please tell me. Because I don't know where you can do that. You select a minuscule finite amount of images that you could use. That's it. And then you can select what kind of clothing they wear, which changes with every single scenario, every route, every train you get into. It never stays the same. I put my character one time in a suit and tie. I go to do a freight train service, and he's wearing an orange vest or a green vest, or why bother going through that? That's it. There is no customization. I mean, and I can see why they made it a yes or no question, because they don't want a long, drawn-out synopsis of why it is what it is or is not what it is. So, but you could at least make it where, make it 400 characters. Explain why it is or is not sufficient. There is no character customization. Take a look at Fallout 3.
Look at you. Look at you. Hi there. I'm your daddy, little guy. Daddy. You're going to need a name, aren't you? Your mother and I have been talking. What do you think about... That's a good name, don't you think? Fits you perfectly. Looks like they've finished the gene projection. Let's see what you'll look like when you're all grown up.
as old as that game is, and as clearly is designed that way to look like it's, grungy and dingy and old, and using an old CRT type screen, but you could at least cut. You have, not including mods, which can add another 3 to 4 dozen types of options to customize your character. Just what's in the game as it is right now. Here's in Fallout 3. You have I must have spent a good hour, if not more, just creating my character in Fallout 3 at the time. That's custom. That's character creation and customization. Then you go to the mods, and you could change what clothing they wear, and that never changes. Now I can understand in Train Sim, you're gonna have, you are in a way you are using a, the one that comes to mind is the Regio train. Okay, I'm sure they have their employees wearing a uniform, which that is understandable. Okay, so maybe that needs to be in some way implemented into the game where people have an idea. Wait a minute, that's not. I put my character into a hard hat in a greasy T-shirt. They do have one that looks like a greasy T-shirt, sweatshirt type thing, but it doesn't stay like that. So please, where is a character custom? Yeah, we are the customer, and we don't even. Okay, I guess I said enough. Moving on. Okay, what other customization options for the player avatar would you like to see? See? Fallout 3, and even Skyrim you can customize your character. Unbelievable options to customize your character. And Fallout 4, a modder made a mirror mod that allows you to customize your character on the fly whenever you want while you're in the game, not before you start the game. Okay, see Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. Oh, and I don't play Skyrim. It's just I got enough. I know I got enough on my plate. Please only select yes if you have a genuine interest in U.S. Train Sim World content. Of course. U.S.-based content is lacking. It's missing. All we have, and it's old already, is Clinchfield, St. Pat's Grade, Horseshoe Curve, Sherman Hill, now I'm drawing a brain fart. Yeah, Horseshoe Curve, St. Pat's Grade, Horseshoe Curve, Cajun Pass. That was the other one. That's the one I'm missing. Cajun Pass. So you got Cajun Pass, Sherman Hill, Horseshoe Curve, St. Pat's Grade, Oakville Subdivision. And that's not even U.S., that's Canada. But that's considered North American content. So, yes, U.S. content is sorely missing. We are in the 4th iteration of Train Sim World. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, well, 5, I should say. The 5th iteration. Because TSW1/2020 is when Heavy Haul came out. So, and that's been renamed and changed a little bit. Not by much. But that's it. That's all that's been done for Train Sim World as far as US-based content. And before I move on, and I know there's a lot of people that don't like or don't want US content. Excuse me. And there are people that don't like or don't want steam locomotive content. But you have a variety of people that like all these different trains. That's the whole point of getting something like this. I mean, there's a lot of people that play Train Sim Classic because of the large variety of content. And many of them are from third-party developers, which can get even more expensive. But that, I digress. So just because there is a handful or 2 handfuls of people in, say, the UK and Germany and Switzerland and Austria that say, no U.S. trains. So, okay, so we won't do any U.S. trains. Or there's a handful of people in the U.S. and, say, Canada and Mexico and Alaska and say, no steam locomotives, no. So you don't do no more steam locomotives? I mean, it's in the name. World. Keyword. What is your favorite U.S. route? So choose up to 3. Okay, again, this is really, this should be, how about a box that says all of the above? I like all of them. I do. I like all of these. I do honestly like all of these. Okay? They all have something that I like about them. Heck, I lived in New York. I used to ride the subways in New York. Into Yonkers and Brooklyn, Bronx. So I like all of these. So why are we narrowed down to just 3? I mean, if I had to, okay, that one just came out, so I haven't done much with it. Let's pick 1, 2. Horseshoe curve. There you go. It should be, I like all of them. Why is that option not there for people to choose if they so want to? Oh, what is your favorite U.S. locomotive? Again, I like all of these in some capacity. I mean, I like the Dash 8. I really like the F7. So that's 2. I can pick one more. Yeah. But again, why not have another box that says all of the above or checkbox and list all that you like? I mean, if you really want a wide field of answers, this is very minimal. Rank these in order of your preference for the types of gameplay you'd prefer, assuming each was done to your liking. Yeah, I like the long. Yeah, see, I like the one to go up and down mountains. Local freight, long haul freight switching. Yeah, cargo loading and unloading. Yeah, you know what? But there is none. There is no cargo loading and unloading. Passenger express service. Yeah, okay. We have traditionally focused mostly on the Northeast in California with our U.S. content so far. Where else in the U.S. would you like to see reflect? Where else in the U.S. would you like to see reflected in game? Please provide as much details as you can. I mean, I can go on, but there's Texas, Florida, Pennsylvania. It's big for freight and coal in Virginia. Well, I'm not good at spelling. That's why I use Grammarly to help me correct my spelling errors and putting the phrases together nicely. But even that, where's it? Louisiana? No, I know that was wrong. I knew I was wrong with that one. Louisiana. They got street running trains. Two things I was really bad in school. Spelling and math. And it's still not any better today. Well, it has gotten better, but I also, like I said, this is why I use, and this is free. You don't have to pay for this. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. If you would like one U.S. route not currently in game, regardless of complexity or scope, what would it be? I would have to go with, let me just do it like this. There's plenty, but if you could have one U.S. locomotive not currently in game, regardless of complexity or scope, what would it be? I had the recording paused because I wanted to find the. It's actually a YouTube link. Okay. That's actually by Alco, so it says one, so well, I'm leaving both. Okay, there you go. There's two. How about that? Okay, what features should be added to a train you mentioned in your previous answer? In your response, please provide the name of the train you chose, and the name is there. No ad, no feature, nothing. Just make it the way it is. That's it. That's the whole point of the real world trains. For the item you selected as your favorite in the previous question, please let us know, in your opinion, what would be the best way to do it in Train Sim World. Please let us know in your answer your choice from the previous question. Please consider things that Train Sim World currently does not do well, doesn't do at all at this stage, and focus on areas that will make a fundamental difference rather than nice to have. The fundamental difference, see TSW1 2020. The interface is really nice, it's elegant, it's, you could say, kind of simplistic, but it's also, in my opinion, it's a nice, elegant interface. And get away from the box, like the Xbox box things. I mean, like, if I want boxes, I'll go to Xbox. That's one of the reasons. But even in TSW 20, they started to get into the boxes, you know. But when you select the train, you could actually see the train you've selected with it, you know, kind of like half in and half out of a garage type building. Or one is you could also have it where it's alongside a train station platform. That's what's, you know, in the way you select. Typing one-handed, so. Yeah, because in TSW28, in the way you select the trains, we can actually see the train as it is in the game, not just a little tiny, you know, 15 by 36 image. Due to operator restrictions, it's often not possible to get authentic audio or detailed interior photographs for lots of U.S. trains. Should we be adding more variety to support a gameplay first approach, which gives rich variety? It does. It gives rich variety of things to do, while still aiming to get other aspects as realistic as possible within the noted constraints. Or should we be only making content where all aspects are achieved, with freshly recorded audio and full access to cabin data in order to ensure a fully realistic simulation? That's a hard question to answer, because it's understandable where a gaming company like Dovetail Games, or pick another train simulator company, where they can't really get to the train. They can't get the access to do the true, you know, audio recordings, interior, exterior, in the cab, in the passenger compartments, you know, with the train running down the track. I understand. That is understandable. But if it's gameplay first, then where's your authenticity, and how are you able to say, well, this is the real world trains, and play Train Sim World? At this point, you might as well just play Roblox. You know, then again, who knows? Maybe they do have some realistic trains content in there. I don't know. I don't play Roblox. But this is a hard question to answer, because you want the gameplay, but yet you want the authenticity. You want the realism. So this is another one of those questions. They go hand in hand. They go together. Actually, it should be authenticity first, then gameplay. How about that as an option? So I'll go for authenticity. Again, that should be another option there. All of the above, or pick, one and then two. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about U.S. railroad experience? About the U.S. railroad experience that you would like to see us develop further in the future? Team locos and being able to see how do I put this? See the brakes working. Well, corrected that one automatically. The suspension looks like it should. Not just a fake image. Yeah, steam locomotives being able to. Okay, it's even better. See, there's no reason why I like Grammarly. Yeah, I mean I can go on and on and on, but yeah, I mean currently in some parts of the game, when you apply the brakes, you don't see the brakes articulating. You don't see the actual. You don't see things moving the way they're supposed to. You hear the noise, but you don't see when you apply in some of the older content, and I have noticed in some of the TSW5, not all, where you can actually see the brakes are being applied when you apply the brakes. And when you release the brakes, you actually see the brakes releasing. But that's very few, and that should be on every train. And like the Metrolink trains, San Bernardino, and obviously the trains are very different, but you could actually see the brake caliper and the brake disc, but you don't see anything moving when the brakes are applied. It looks like some kind of a brake pad is there, but you don't see, nothing moves. So it's really, I mean, I know it's not an easy thing to do. It's easier said than done. That I understand. I'm not a complete fool and a complete, pie in the sky idiot. But spend the extra time to make the stuff as it should be made, not just, we'll put it there and it looks like it's there. If you look at the older GWR, Great Western Express, and you look at the coil springs on the HSD, you could actually see daylight in between the coils. And while it's not completely round as it, but you could see that it looks like a coil spring. And almost every train that has coil springs in Train Sim World, it's nothing but it's a facade. It's an image. It's a flat image designed and created in such a way that at a certain distance, it looks like a coil spring. the suspension doesn't. It's just a bunch of images, and they don't articulate. I mean, they've added suspension physics, but some of the suspension physics have broken other things in the game. There are some services that you cannot even start, never mind complete, because the suspension physics broke it, and it's not being fixed. So yeah, you know what I just typed here. When you apply the brakes, I want to see the brakes applied. When I release the brakes, I want to see the brakes release. And they have done it. It's been done already. It's been done on many of the freight trains, the U.S. freight trains, and on the Jubilee. But it's only on the locomotive, not the tender. You cannot see the brakes applying on the tender, or the coach cars. The brakes do not. They're there, but they don't move one way or the other. You only hear the sound of the screeching and the flange squeal. So yeah, not just making a fake image. Okay, here are some questions about potential future content for Train Sim World. Please note that some of the things you will see are things we have discussed internally and should not be taken as confirmation that they are in production or will be released. This is why we're asking for your thoughts. Just like the Japanese content hasn't been talked about since it was announced in June of 2024. Which announced upcoming releases are you most looking forward to? Please vote for your top 3. Again, they're going back to California, Santa Fe. How about that one? Yes, Union Workshop. Again, this should be more than just 3. It should be an option, put a box here and tick that and then fill it in, type in your answers. Skyhook still has stuff that needs to be fixed in TSW with their MML EMT line. I still got, you can go into the game and look at some of the platforms. They made a lot of headway and things working a lot better and looking a lot better, but there still needs a lot of work. All right, we'll go with the Great Western Remaster, but that's being done for free by the developers on their own free time. So how about that one? I'd like to see more from the cargo line, but I'll do it that way. Yeah. Which announced upcoming releases, and I don't even know how many of these, I don't remember seeing any of these announced. But then again, I don't watch all the, I don't watch the 3-hour videos sitting there for 2 hours waiting for the video to start. Which announced upcoming releases are you least looking forward to? Please vote for your bottom 3. Well, that's something that they've already announced. It's coming. So Peak Forest needs to be completely redone. And it's just I'm not a fan of Peak Forest. I would say this one, bottom 3. How about that one? Okay. Which of these features of an add-on would be most appealing to you? Pick up to 3. Authentic train audio. How about that? Ability to use content to a variety of services, freight, shunting, passenger. Use of existing content via layering, substitution where appropriate. Let's see. Varied collectibles, number of scenarios. See, again, this is these all can fall into almost one answer. Detailed scenery. Yes. I mean, variety of rolling stock. Yes, but I can only pick 3. Detailed timetable content from trains and rolling stock that comes in the add-on. Route length. Yes. I mean, you know what's really ridiculous? A 1 minute. I mean, literally a 1 minute service. That is so. To me, that's a slap in the face. Okay? 1 minute service, which actually takes almost 3 minutes. By the time you get everything, you turn the headlights on and get the train set up. Really? There's some services there that are like 5 minutes, 7 minutes. You know what? Put them into a subcategory somewhere. That is just like, to me, it's a waste of time. Challenging driving experience. What do they mean by challenging? Having multiple freight trains and passenger trains, and you have to wait for one to pass, and you get to go ahead to go. Yeah, that's a good challenge. Officially licensed trains and content. Yes, that would be nice. Again, I'm not into the mastery stuff. The ability to use content and create. Sure, that would be nice for the people I want to do it. Maybe I might do it. I don't know. But that's not my top priority. Variety of services, freight, shunting, and passenger. Yes, that should be. I would like to see a more varied set of content. Collectibles, please, enough with this. I mean, I'm finding collectibles where it's like, who in their right mind? Like, there's this one, I think it's a Bernini line that came out with TSW4. Big hoopla one, is like, we're coming, like, I mean, it's like, they pulled out all the stops to announce this route, and here we are in TSW5. Anyway, one of the collectibles is a route map. It's inside of a garage where the actual passengers would not be allowed to go into if they wanted to see a route map. Who's going to see the route map? The mechanics working on the trains? I think they already know the route and the map of the route. You know, it's like, that didn't sound right. But anyway, I think they already know where the train goes and comes from. Accurate train physics, yes. How about I'll change that from this to this, because I can only pick 3. Variety of scenarios, yes, that should. I would love to see more of that. Accurate signaling and safety systems, but fix what's already broken first. But yes, the accuracy of the signaling and the safety systems, that they work properly, yes. Detailed scenery, variety of rolling stock, all of this is yes, but you can only pick 3. This is why this should be but the thing is, I don't know why they're doing this, because they just want to cherry pick. Challenging driving experience. You know what I think a challenging driving experience? There's one scenario, I wish I could remember the name of it, where you do a service and you have to turn around and come back and, redo the service, and you switch over to the cab car. And this was actually probably done in TSW3. And you end up driving the BR-103. That looks like the Volkswagen bus, but in train form and much larger. But that's where you end up driving, because the cab car you get into, they created a situation where the brakes you are unable to set up the brakes. So you are guided through shutting down the cab car, removing the brake key, removing the reverser, basically shutting down the cab, and then exiting and locking the door, which is not locked. And then you go over to the BR-103, set it up, and head back the opposite direction. That's a challenging experience. That's the way it should be. If I have to sit there and start Well, let me see. There's an electrical fault. If there's an electrical fault in your train, the train should not be rolling, period. If you end up with an electrical fault, that train should not be rolling. It should be taken out of service. End of conversation. Okay, they came out with the BR 101. A lot of people like it, but it's having a lot of issues. I'm seeing a lot of people reporting issues. And one of them is really not an issue. It has something to do with the battery going dead in a train. And if you set things up incorrectly, the battery will end up dying and you won't be able to do anything. That I can understand, fine. But the whole idea of figuring out the weight of the train and how many cars you have, and now if that's a real thing that's happening in the real world, I would love to see it. Because that is a lot for a train engineer, driver, especially if you're driving a passenger service and you have to take time to sit there and calculate the weight of the train, the length of the train, and what brake setting you need to set. And you're driving a passenger service. It's designed to be on time. You leave at 1600 hours, you arrive at 1610 at your next station. You don't spend 10 minutes calculating weight, length, and what brake setting you need. That should all be done that should be done long before the service even starts. And all you need to do is get in, make sure the brakes are set properly, put the brake key in, set the brakes, get the reverser in if it's not in already, if you're just taking over from another driver. But all of that should already be done. You should not have to spend time on calculating, doing mathematical, gymnastics to get a train going. That is not a challenge to me. If the brake line is, you can't get the brakes to pressurize because it works on negative pressure. Okay, air brakes. And, well, then you have to go out and you have to check the brakes on each individual car. On a freight train in a yard, I can see that. That could be a thing. But that's where you have a yardman or you have the conductor, with you. Not the person actually driving the train. I've watched and looked at enough video and read enough stuff where that's not what happens in the real world. Now maybe in Europe it does, but this has already been done in TSW with other services. And one of them was where you're driving down and you're just driving along and all of a sudden the lights come on. All of a sudden the horn just starts blaring away. Beautiful sunny day, no clouds. The wipers start going. That's an electrical problem in the train. And you're supposed to work that out while the train is moving at, say, 80 kilometers an hour. Really? I don't remember the service and what route it was on, but it was so annoying that all I wanted to do was I wanted it to end. All I wanted was just end it. Just end it. That is not a challenging experience. What I did with the one service where, okay, you got to switch to the cab car. Okay, brakes won't engage, or you can't get the brakes to properly set up. Okay, you're done. Try it once, twice, thrice, you're done. Train gets shut down, it's out of service. That's what I call challenging. Or having multiple trains, like I said, with freight, passenger, all going, using the same area, in say a yard, and they're going through the yard because with the new MBTA's route, there's some areas where you end up going through what looks like a train yard. That would be challenging because you have to wait for other trains to pass, wait, who gets to go and who doesn't, who has to wait. That's a challenge. So what is the challenging driving experience that they're talking about here? Excuse me, because that could mean a lot of things. If it's brakes or electrical, the train is out of service. That's it. There is no, oh, let me find the fault and fix it. No. If it's a breaker that got tripped and it keeps tripping, guess what? The train stops, you take it out of service. That's it. There's your challenge. So that's why, maybe I'm getting a little too passionate, but you're talking about, you want to do real world trains, this is the real world. And it goes, and this comes, and because again, I'm a gearhead. I'm also a grease monkey. I've done mechanic work. I've done a lot of work in my life. Okay? A lot of different jobs. But I've had my hands in grease and grime, and I've done all kinds of mechanical work as well as electrical. When it's not working and it's broken, it's taken out of service. End of conversation. You don't sit there and try and figure out how you can make it work. You take it out and you replace it with something else. If the same concept with delivery vehicles. I'm not going to start putting names out there, but look at the biggest names in deliveries. If they have a vehicle that's broken down or not working properly, guess what? It gets taken out of service. There's no questions asked. It's out of service. Go find another vehicle. It's tagged and bagged for the mechanic. That's their job. The mechanics fix the vehicle. Not you, the driver, not you, the engineer, the conductor, the service staff that serves food and drink to the customer. No. So what is this driving challenge experience? What is that? That's a completely open-ended thing. All right. You know what? Moving along. Rank these potential future core features out of 10 by how appealing they are to you. Okay. 10 is extremely interesting. Platform and train announcements. Yes. That should have been done from day one. Dispatcher mode. I'm not really into dispatching. It's a lot to learn. So, career mode, passenger. Can you run a profitable passenger service? That I would be interested in. Yes, I would be interested in something like that, in some kind of a career type mode, in where you are in charge of. Hey George, it's your turn to run a service up to Poughkeepsie, New York, or hey, we got an express train going up to Dunkirk. I don't know. I'm just pulling stuff out of the air. Yeah, Jimmy, that's your job today. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing stuff like that. Career mode freight. Yes. Okay, you know what? How about that? I don't know. I'll make this 10, make that 9. How about that? Can't have both at 10. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Random behavior of temporary speed limits. Again, this goes back to the other thing where I ranted about already. Temporary speed limit variable performance with AI periodic faults on a train. If there's a fault on a train, it gets taken out of service. End of conversation. There is no fault that the engineer, the train driver, needs to be fixing. At that point, the train is considered unsafe and should be out of service. What there should be is hotbox detectors. That's what should be in-game, but they don't have for the freight services. A variety of features that will mix up each journey to be slightly different and unpredictable each time you play it. That's not a bad idea. But variable faults, like I said, no. If there's a fault, the train goes out of service. End of conversation. There is no, well, wait a minute, where's my soldering iron? Give me some duct tape and some electrical tape. We'll get this working. No. Shift designer. It's like the ability to make and share your own journeys, but with more variety. Plan out your favorite shifts, including instructions to ride or walk to somewhere to pick up your train. This I would give 13 to. Because, yes, starting up a scenario and everything loads in and poof, Scotty beamed you into the chair of the train. That's not how the real world works. That's just not how it is. Okay, and now I'm like, I'm getting, I apologize. I get passionate. I'm a passionate person. I'm a lover. What can I like trains. So considering, okay, moving along. Are there any other player roles in the world of railways you'd like to see captured within Train Sim World? Please give a brief description. Sure. Yardman. Why aren't there is a training scenario that's new in TSW5 where you actually have a yardman that changes the switches for you. It's only one. Why? Why can't that be a thing with, say, Cumberland Yard? So yeah, maybe that would be something that wouldn't be bad to do. Instead of conductor, be a yardman, or maybe just have an AI yardman that that helps you cut the cars and assemble when you're doing shunting work. Which of these core features would you most like to see improvements for? Please select up to 3 answers. Core feature would like improvements for livery design, a quick drive, free roam mode, journey mode. Yeah, okay. Based on the 3 options you selected in the previous question, please provide us with one quality of life improvement you'd like to see for each. At the start of your improvement, please mention the feature you are referring to. A quality of life improvement is a small change that would improve your ability to enjoy the content. How about no? Yeah, knowing. Yeah, that would go into journey mode. Okay. Because some of the journey services are not the same when you go find them after searching in the route that they are associated with. Because you could do a journey mode. There's one that I had a real hard time getting completed with the Flying Scotsman, because you are dragging a Class 66 locomotive that you cannot control with the Flying Scotsman. It's dead weight. It's done as a historical type of run in journey mode. But when you go to, and it's done in the wintertime, it's snow, which something they've actually done very well in Train Sim World, because the physics involved in the train with the wet snow, the icy snow, the ice and rain, it really does translate very well, and it makes it really hard to get that one journey mode done. But that's because you're dragging a basically dead weight, a Class 66 that you cannot control from the Flying Scotsman. But now you go to the actual scenario version of the same service. It's beautiful, sunny, not a cloud in the sky, no rain, but you're still dragging dead weight, Class 66. So the two are not the same. Okay. 47. Which of these conductor mode improvements would enhance your gameplay experience the most? Enhance your experience the most. Okay, I read that incorrectly. Please select up to 2 answers. Not interested in conductor mode. Not at all. C'est la vie, mon chéri. Which of these random events on a route would enhance your gameplay experience? Please select up to 3 options. No, none of these will ever end your run. Track cruise, with score bonus for sounding the horn. Junctions that take a variable amount of time to trigger and change. Okay. Rail fans with bonus score, temporary speed limits, inclement weather, maintenance work. Signals that don't change from red for a random period of time, longer than expected. I can go into let's just move on here. 49. Which of these train faults would enhance your gameplay experience? Please select a maximum of 3 options. Couplings that break. Brakes won't release. Brakes that need to be locked out on certain vehicles due to a fault. At that point, the train comes out of service. Doors that need to be manually closed. Functions on train that need to be reset. Some of the above, but if there is a fault, the train is removed from service. No. Which of these camera improvements would you most like to see in game? Select up to 3. Trackside dynamic camera, nose camera, GoPro passenger. No, thank you. Well, I guess that'd be interesting, but Okay, which of these quality of life improvements would you get most value from as a player? Please select a maximum of 2 answers. Full timetable view, introduce improved cargo system, ability to move driver, camera position. Please let us know with as much detail. Other. Full timetable view. Let's see. Even an owl can't spin its head 300. That is just so disconcerting. It really is. I'll just copy that. It's easier for me. Here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Which of these settings options would you get most value from as a player? Select a maximum of 2. Brightness settings, toggling field of view, toggle for view distance, only 2. See. Default safety systems to on. Be better. You know what? Let's do it this way. So let's see. Which of these setting options would you get most value from as a player? Currently this is being done by a mod. Actually, a mod and an INI edit. That should be part of the game, and it should be done better. Yeah, okay, next. More questions. Oh, yay! We're going to ask some more questions designed to understand how you feel about some meatier topics within simulation. Within a train simulation. Wait a minute. Am I reading that right? I know I tend to screw up, but we're going to ask some more questions designed to understand how you feel about some meatier topics within train simulation. Okay, I thought I was reading that incorrectly. As before, these are not confirmations that we will be implementing any of these things, but we welcome your thoughts on them, okay? What are the media ones? Okay. For areas in which getting official source material is challenging, how important is accurate reference material for these different areas? This may impact our ability to create certain types of content. Like in this similar question earlier, this is understandable. It's not always going to be, but there has to be some way to get more accurate source material. There has to be. I mean, a lot of these publicly traded companies, they have to put a lot of stuff in the public, especially in the U.S. I don't know about the European companies, but in the U.S., a lot of these major corporations, when they're publicly traded on the stock exchange, they have to make a lot of things public. So, yes, it is important to have source material. Sometimes we are unable to fill out a timetable with a completely prototypical locomotive Would you prefer us to substitute in something that is close to prototypical, or leave it out entirely? Um, yeah, okay, substitute. Why not? Without considering train sim world specifically, what would be your number one priority when considering purchasing a train-based simulation game? 200 characters. That includes spaces. Um, priority when considering. A quality manual. You know, you can have Manuel make the manual. There's a lot. Number one priority considering purchasing a train sim. People with, and I've already seen people say that they're playing Train Sim World and they have Parkinson's. So having them, try to be an octopus with a keyboard is really like, and I know you can't say, well, what if somebody, okay, there's a lot of what ifs, okay, but, oh, I got that wrong. Oh, put D? Dandy caps? What's a dandy cap? Okay. Yeah, let's have a dandy cap. People with handicaps, and devices like the rail driver. Usable. A multiplayer mode on Train Sim World is not something we're currently investigating. Not interested in multiplayer. There's enough issues with it with another game which I will not mention. I've heard some of the stuff that goes on, especially in the Hungarian server. They can get brutal, and I don't want to deal with that. Stuff like that I don't want to deal with. Not to mention that there's a lot of a lot going on in the Polish server of that game, which can get, and if you don't speak Polish, you're SOL. Let's leave it at that. However, we're always interested to find out more about how you feel about multiplayer options you might have seen in other games. Are there any other features in other simulator games which offer multiplayer that you particularly enjoy? Please provide the name of the game, and the feature in your response. Let's try the Railroader. Well, they really don't have co-op. Yeah, they don't really have co-op. They do have conductor. They have dispatcher. But I do believe Railroader does have co-op. Okay, I kind of screwed up. Can't go back here. Maybe previous? Let's try that. Alright, so here's where I screwed up. This here I changed a little bit, took it out of parentheses. But yeah, these two have co-op, online co-op. That's nice. That would be nice to have in TSW. And number 57 was just what excites me is like woohoo, yay. It's like, I mean, like I said once before, I don't fawn over anything anymore. I expect the worst and hope for the best. Plain and simple. Because quality is not a thing anymore in this world. US, UK, Germany, whatever, I don't care. Well, German I won't say, because German there's a lot of things that are made by the Germans that are over-engineered. Some of the best water cooling for computer stuff is out of Germany. And it's quality. So there is some quality in the world in some places, but the thing is there's more junk and garbage being sold. And go back to the 70s, 60s. That's when things were made, with quality in mind. So anyway, yeah, I wanted to come back to this because I paused the recording to go look for something. Yeah, about the only thing that I would like to see more of is more US freight content. So, okay. Miscellaneous questions. Nearly there. Some miscellaneous questions to finish. Okay. What other games do you play? Click all that apply. So, Public Transport Simulator? I don't even know what that is. Never even heard of it. Oh, okay. No thanks. This I'm kind of interested in. I tried Railroads Online, but because they have no real tutorial to help you along and building the world and then driving the trains. Farming Simulator, I have yet to get it going. Derail Valley, Simrail, Train Simulator, yes. I do have trains, but I don't play it. Railroaders. Yeah, I guess that's it for now. I mean, there really is no other ones. So, yeah, that's it. How do you find out about new Train Sim World content? In-game loading screen. Up till live forums. Steam announcements. That's about it. I don't follow all the. I stay with the official content. That's it. Website article. There you go. And then I do my own research. Okay, we'd love to send out more survey and if you'd like to be part of a mailing list, please submit. No. Okay, so I'm at 59 answered of 64 questions, and I'm done. Maybe because I didn't put in my email address? I don't know. Okay. We will contact you before the 12th if you... No. That's it. So, 59 of 64. There you go. So, what, the other 5 questions are no longer valid? I don't know. But anyway, there's your survey. And where it's going to go, I don't know. But more than likely, this is the prelude to TSW 6. I mean, we all know it's going to come. I mean, it just hasn't been said yet. Just like everybody knew TSW5 was coming, but it's like, oh, you don't know. It's like, it hasn't been said. If it hasn't been said, it's not coming. No, no. All you have to do is look at the track record. TSW 2020, i.e. TSW 1, TSW 2, TSW 3, TSW 4. Anybody that was like, well, they didn't say it, so it's not going to happen. No, it's coming. It's coming. It's the same thing just like with Farming Simulator, Flight Simulator. They're all pumping out stuff, and it's basically a rehash almost of the same thing, and then they add a few new things. And it's not like it's getting any cheaper. I mean, TSW5, if you wanted to get the Uber edition, you're paying almost $130. Are you kidding me? And all you're doing is getting the core game, 2 decal sets, and what you would get in the deluxe edition, which it's in itself is $80 when you look at it without tax, and I'm talking about U.S. dollars. In other countries, it's outrageous what it costs to buy content for TSW. Never mind the core game. In all honesty, you shouldn't have to pay for the core game every single year, just like they did with TSW5. They had the free starter pack for X amount of months, but that's ending 9 January 2025. I mean, that should always be free, but I digress. That's just my personal opinion. Content like DLCs, new trains, and it's not even new trains. They keep rehashing, like many people already said, they keep rehashing the Class 66. I can't tell you, I totally lost count on how many versions of the Class 66 there are. And they're all exactly the same on the inside. They all drive the same way. They all sound the same. It's not like they put a steering wheel in there and a gas pedal and a brake pedal. So, new trains, yes. Like I said, like you saw me do in the survey, put stuff from Pennsylvania Railroad. Everything is either in Boston. Ironically, that's where one of the nukes fell in Fallout 4. So, everything is being put into more content from California and Boston. I figured, you know what? I'll put it up on YouTube and let people, let the viewers look at it and see what it's all about. And leave your comments, your thoughts, concerns. Let me know what you think. It's going to be interesting because there's no talk about the Japanese content that's supposed to be coming. That was announced it was announced in June of 2024. Okay, that was 6 months ago, and there's no talk about it. So, what is it? Again, one individual making this content that has a real world job. They got to feed they got to feed themselves and their family, keep a roof over their head. I mean, it's just like like the modding community on Train Sim Community, who have real world jobs, and then they do modding on the side. When they have the free time. I mean, there's stuff that's being released in TSW5 that should have been released in TSW4, like San Bernardino. I know I'm getting a little loud, and I apologize. But like many others have said, if we didn't care and we didn't like the content, the concept, the whole thing about Train Sim World, we wouldn't be here all this time. And there are people that have been with Train Sim World content and stuff when it started back with Train Sim Classic or Train Simulator. Back then I was worried about other things in life. I wasn't playing any games. But that's another thing that needs to get there. I mean, look at the way that weather just changed. It just went from snow to, wow, it's a blizzard in the blink of an eye. Really? So, anyway, thanks for being here. Take care. Have a happy new year. Enjoy it. Stay safe. And just be with the family and have fun. And don't take it too seriously. Life is too short to be rigid and too serious. Smash that thumbs up, likes button. Subscribe, share. It won't hurt. It'll show me that you're interested, you like what I'm doing, you like how I'm doing it, and take care. See you in the next video, and bye-bye for now.